a couple of days ago, it could have been actually more than that. It could have been like a week ago now. Boogie2988, he uploaded a video where he actually showed what he was voting for the Video Game Awards and what he thought was the best game in each category. And I thought, you know what? That would be a pretty good idea that I can use. But unlike Boogie, I'll try to actually predict which game in each category or which person in each category will actually win the category. And I'll also give you my opinions on certain games or certain categories, not categories, but certain people that are within the categories that I think deserve to win the categories. Sorry if that was a little bit confusing, but bear with me. Like him, I will be going actually from the bottom all the way up to the top because, let's be honest, why would you stick around if I just showed you the game of the year and what I thought the game of the year would be first? Let's actually let's go to the bottom of the list, which is Content Creator of the Year. I didn't look at all of the list. I only looked at parts of it. And actually, here we go. So, Content Creator of the Year: Dr. Lupo, Myth, Ninja, Pokimane, and Willy Rex. Now, I think all of these streamers, I think they're all pretty much streamers. I don't know. I don't know who Willy Rex is. I mean, who else? They're all in second place. Everyone who got nominated is in second place. Everyone. It should be Ninja. It is going to be Ninja. Best esports moments: C9's comeback in triple overtime versus FaZe. G2, excuse me, beating RNG. KT versus IG base race. OG's massive upset of LGD. Sonic Fox side switch against... Okay, so the problem is I follow some esports. I don't follow all esports. And some of these esports, I don't really know what they're playing. Like, I have no idea what this is. I don't know. I only really follow League of Legends, and that's kind of it. I used to kind of follow Overwatch a little bit, but I will say, oh, okay, so Dota. So, see, I don't follow Dota at all. I don't know what Evo is. Sorry if I'm offending you. I don't know what Evo is. I don't follow Dota. I'll go with KT. I like KT. But I think that, and I was, again, watching Alana Pierce's video on another whole completely different Game Awards show. And she actually mentioned a genuine problem with having this many categories with esports where people they don't watch a lot of the same esports. Everyone watches their own different esports. Like, Dota 2 and League of Legends are in the MOBA genre, but I only watch League of Legends. And, I mean, I'm only going to vote for the one that I know, and that's obviously League of Legends. So, best esports host. Oh, man. There's this Korean host that actually did a really, really good job at Worlds. I probably would have voted for him. Sorry about that. I probably would have voted for him if he was actually nominated. I'm actually going to vote for Shox because she does a really, really good job. Or I would have voted for Red Eye. He actually does a really good job as well. So, next category. Oh, by the way, I think Shox will probably win. I have no idea who's going to win the esports category. It's all just like a toss-up because I don't think anyone else who's voting will vote for the best moment. Everyone's just going to vote for the moment that they know. That's just my opinion on it, but everyone's probably going to vote for Shox because everyone likes Shox or Red Eye. I don't know the Korean host's name, but he's the Korean host that hosted Worlds. I would have voted for him. I just don't know his name. Best esports event. I never went to any of these esports events. And again, same problem, different category. Don't know. I'm gonna vote for League of Legends. This isn't even the actual League of Legends World Championship. It was in Korea. I think this is the Staples Center, but I'm still gonna vote for League of Legends because I actually did like Worlds. I have no idea who's going to win it. I think it's gonna be OWL, the Overwatch League. Not the Grand Finals, but just the Overwatch League. I love... Did I vote? How do I not? Okay, I have to kind of follow on the vote. But I think it's going to be the Overwatch League Grand Finals. I just want to make sure. Okay, wait, did I vote? Yeah, I voted. Okay. So the reason why I think it's going to be the Overwatch League is that they actually have specific venues for gaming, whereas League of Legends has to kind of rent these specific arenas. Like they had to rent out the Staples Center when they did play in Los Angeles. I don't know this specific stadium where they played the World Finals in, but I know that it's in South Korea, in Pyeongchang. So they have to rent out their stadiums. I think that it's going to go to OWL. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know what these two esports are, and I feel like I should. And I don't know what the international 2018 is. Like that could literally be anything. But I think it's gonna be OWL, the Overwatch League. Best esports coach. Again, same problem. You know what? I like Yamato Cannon. I like Yamato Cannon because he's a StarCraft 2 reference. I'm gonna vote for Yamato Cannon. He's probably not gonna win it. It's probably going to be Cloud9's coach. But I like Yamato Cannon. It's probably gonna be C9. The C9 coach is gonna win it. So best esports team, the esports team judged to be the most outstanding. Okay, so where's the Korean teams? It's just where's the Korean teams? Where are they? Okay, so it's not Fnatic. They got swept. It's not Cloud9. I think they got swept. I'm gonna go with London Spitfire. Again, I don't follow the Overwatch League, but I cannot vote for C9 and Fnatic when both of them got swept on... Fnatic got swept in the World Finals. C9 got swept in the semifinals. I mean, if they won one frickin' game, I probably would have voted for one of them, but they didn't. They both got swept. Just when you thought that Koreans couldn't or didn't have a stranglehold on esports, the American and the European representatives both got swept. It was not a fun world for me, especially when I had to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the World Finals. Best esports player presented by... Okay, so is Faker here? Faker's not here. Where's XQC? He's pretty good. I like XQC. So irrespective of game, the esports player judged to be the most outstanding performer in two, irrespective. I'm gonna go with this guy. I don't follow old, but good God, man. If Faker was here, I would have voted for him, but Faker didn't. I don't even think SKT. No. I think they did qualify for Worlds. I don't even think they got past the qualifying stage. But again, I don't really know any of these players, so I'm only gonna vote for the player that I actually kind of know, and that's because he's in the OWL. He's in the Overwatch League. Good categories that I can actually know and judge. Best esports game, for the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre, platform. I'm looking for League of Legends. League of Legends this year was absolute garbage, and the fact that it still has a player base, it shows how dedicated the community is to the survival of this game. League of Legends should win it. It's probably going to go to Fortnite or Overwatch because people they don't know anything about most. And I looked this up before I started. Actually, I looked up some of the organizations, not the organizations, but the journalists who were voting, or the media outlets that were voting. Excuse me. And one of them was like the Hollywood Reporter. And it's just confusing to me because what does the Hollywood Reporter know about gaming? So they're probably going to just vote for Overwatch because everyone likes Overwatch, and even though Fortnite is popular, and I'm actually tempted. I was tempted to vote for Fortnite, but League of Legends has just been so bad this year, and the community has still stayed with it that it has to be League of Legends. Not to say that it's the best esport, but it is definitely the most supported esport. Best debut indie game. Recognizing a new independent studio that released its first game, I'm going to vote for Florence. I'm going to vote for Florence. I think it will be Florence, or it could be The Messenger. I'm not that big on indie games, to be honest with you. I've heard of Florence, and I've also heard of The Messenger. But beyond that, I don't really have a lot of experience with both games, and I don't really have a lot of experience with indie games. Hopefully that's something that I can change later on, that I will change later on. Best student game. Awarded the best student project created at the high school or college level. This is a category that I actually really like. I'm going to give it to whiffed. Just because I like its visual art style. The hard thing about this category is that I didn't really know of a lot of any of these games within this category. So it's kind of hard for me, especially with a year this year that has had a bunch of AAA developed games. It's super hard to learn about games like this, games that are student made and student developed. So it's really, really good that they're actually getting some recognition in this way in the Game Awards show. But hopefully players like myself will go in and get educated on some of these games. I'm actually really excited. I'll come back to this category hopefully during the holidays so I can play some of these games. I'm already disappointed by the nominees in this category. Best multiplayer game for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including why is Destiny 2 on this list? Why? Can someone give me an actual argument why Destiny 2 is on this list? It has complete, like Destiny, the first game, made all Bungie fans leave an exodus. This game made all of the Destiny fans that got used to the Destiny gameplay also just decimate this game in Bungie's forums. How is this game nominated at all for any category for Game of the Year? It's one of the worst stories, video game stories, ever. Ever. Why? Why is it? Let's move on. We could be talking about this for why Sea of Thieves? There's better multiplayer games that came out this year than Sea of Thieves and Destiny 2. There's so many better games. I just, oh my god. Who nominated these games? Sea of Thieves was a bare-boned, minimum, just no content in the game when it was released. And Destiny 2 just pissed off its community. How are these two games nominated? You know what? Destiny 2 is probably going to win it because every reviewer, every critic liked it. I'm going to go with Monster Hunter World because it was a really, really good adaptation of the Monster Hunter genre on console. And I think I don't know that much about the Monster Hunter series, but I think this is one of the only Monster Hunter games that you could go online and play online with your friends, because usually it would have to be LAN and on the PSP, which I'm so glad that they but made an entirely new Monster Hunter game for consoles and not just handhelds. But I mean, why Destiny 2? You're making the Game Awards less credible when you have Destiny 2 and Sea of Thieves in Best Multiplayer Game. Jesus H. Christ, Pez is in this. But I mean, I liked Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I liked their gameplay a lot. I understand the technical issues, the lack of polish when it comes to bug fixes with some with parts of the game. I think it had like multiple bug issues within the first couple of weeks after its release. But I mean, it is very, very fun to play. I was actually very, very tempted to vote for Call of Duty because Call of Duty it had a really, really good year this year. Usually I don't like Call of Duty. Everyone can kind of agree that not Black Ops, but World War II was a pretty bad game, but Black Ops 4, Activision stepped up their game. but I gotta go with Monster Hunter. I gotta go with Monster Hunter. I do think that it's going to be Destiny, and I don't think it's going to be Monster Hunter World, unfortunately. Here we go, best sports racing game. Okay, so I was going to do a video like this last year, except it was way too late. I made the video way too late. In last year's video that I didn't make, I was making an argument of this shouldn't even be a category of game, or a category that we can nominate and vote for, because this category sucks. Like FIFA 19. I can probably go back to 2015 and find FIFA 16. I think that's because they release it. They release a FIFA game every, like, I'm not going to get into the release of FIFA games, but it's like all of the FIFA games are the same thing over and over and over again. All of the sports games are similar, are the same things over and over again. 2K, PES, Mario Tennis, and Forza Horizon are the only two games that are actually like unique and do something fun and interesting. All of these other games are mediocre garbage that shouldn't even be in the same category, shouldn't even be nominated at all, which is why I say get rid of this category, because you always get the FIFAs, the 2Ks. I'm really surprised Madden isn't in this category, but I will go for Forza Horizon 4, because Forza Horizon, they always come out with really great racing games. It's just unfortunate that this category is plagued with so much mediocrity. It disgusts me. It disgusts me to see that FIFA 19 is nominated. It disgusts me to see NBA 2K19. Even though I'm a huge LeBron James fan, it actually disgusts me to see his face, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, on the cover of a video game that is so mediocre. Get this out of my face. I can't stand this. I'm actually getting sick just thinking about it. Moving on. Best strategy game. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based strategy gameplay irrespective of platform. I have no idea what any of these... I know Valkyrie Chronicles. I don't really know of a lot of RTSs that are constantly made. RTSs are kind of like a dead genre of gaming. Not a lot of people play them because they are super freaking hard to get into and get good at. But I'm gonna vote for Valkyrie Chronicles. I have no idea who's going to win it. This is one of the only categories that I am super uninformed on. I apologize that I'm super uninformed about them, but again, I didn't do any prior research to any of these categories or any of these games. Frankly, I'm actually surprised that they have a strategy game category at all, to be honest with you. Let's move on. Best family game. All right. This should be interesting. Oh my god. Starlink. Jesus Christ. Super Mario Party. It's either between Mario Tennis and Super Mario Party. I'm not a kid, so I can't... I may not have the best... hold on. For the best appropriate for family, it's Mario Party. I'm like... It's Mario Party. You can play that as a family. It's like having a board game, except in video game fashion. I love Super Mario Party. I've been playing it since the N64. It's one of my favorite series of all time, if you have people over. So I love Super Mario Party. Best fighting game. Ooh. I'm warming up my hands because I'm getting excited. By the way, I think it's going to be Nintendo Labo that's going to win this category. Simply put, because of the gimmick of being able to create the controllers and everything else. I don't have Nintendo Labo, so I can't really speak on it, but I think that people are going to vote for it just because it's something that people like. I think people liked the gimmick. Again, no idea which category, which game is going to win this category. I want to have continuity. I want to have people understand which games I want to vote for, or I voted for. I voted for Super Mario Party. I think Nintendo Labo is going to win. Best fighting game, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball, Soul Calibur, Street Fighter, Jesus H. Christ. No. I think it's going to be, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is going to win it. I think they're going to win it, and I'm also going to vote for it. I love Dragon Ball Z. Almost every single person, anyone who loves anime, loves Dragon Ball Z. And this was such a fun fighting game. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I didn't know how they were going to pull it off, but they pulled it off. This was a great year for Arc System Works, the developer of both Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Blaze Blue. They created two really, really nice games. I think they're going to be happy with themselves because they're going to take home the trophy. I swear to God, if it's Street Fighter 5, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's move on. I don't want to say anything that I'm going to regret. Ooh, best RPG. The best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So, problem with this category. I don't think rich player character customization and progression should be the definite role or the definite category. What's the word? Not category. Be the definite defining sentence or phrase with RPGs, because God of War has RPG elements in it. I would actually consider... Oh, it's Monster Hunter. I didn't see Monster Hunter get nominated. Ni no Kuni is really, really good. But again, Octopath Traveler, it doesn't really have character customization. You just pick a character, and you follow that character's base story for a extended period of time. I swear to God, I knew Ni no Kuni was in this category, and I was so tempted to vote for it, but Monster Hunter, man, they've had a great year this year. Monster Hunter, great game. Ni no Kuni comes in at a close second. I really, really want to give it to Ni no Kuni too, but I didn't really like some of the changes to the combat. I wish that they had familiars. I think everyone wished that they had familiars. They could have kept certain aspects of the familiar gameplay and put it into Ni no Kuni 2. If you don't know what the familiars are in Ni no Kuni, it's pretty much like Pokemon. You literally catch and battle these certain monsters that you find throughout the field. It's literally like Pokemon, except in a new real-time RPG way. It was a great system. They got rid of it. I don't know why, but I don't work at level 3 games. Level 5 games, excuse me. Ooh, best action adventure game. Oh wait, let me go back to this. I think I said no. Whoa. I think Octopath Traveler is going to win it. Everyone liked the nostalgic factor with Octopath Traveler. I didn't. I thought that it was a good game. I thought that Square Enix did a good job at recreating certain aspects of the JRPG genre. But I mean, my goodness, it's a dime a dozen. Ni no Kuni's better. So, Ni no Kuni's better. Buy Ni no Kuni. If you have a PlayStation, I think even a PC as well. For the best action-adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, here it is, God of War. You're probably going to... Wait. Yep, it's God of War. It's God of War. God of War is going to take home some awards. Sony is going to take some home awards. The reason why it's not Red Dead Redemption 2, it is not even... I love Red Dead Redemption 2, but the combat in Red Dead Redemption 2, or not the combat, but the biggest moments, they don't even pale to Spider-Man when it comes to action. I mean, Spider-Man, my goodness, in the first, 15 minutes, you're fighting Kingpin at the top of a skyscraper, and building and debris is falling down on you, and your suit gets torn up, and that's within the first 15 minutes of the game starting. And I don't think Marvel is on the level of God of War, where you use a serpent to fight a giant. It's God of War. Red Dead Redemption 2 was a really, really good game. It's kind of tough with some of these categories, especially now, because I really liked Marvel Spider-Man. I really, really liked Red Dead Redemption 2. I obviously liked Ni no Kuni. I even liked Octopath Traveler. It's just, there's so many really, really good games in each category. I will not talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But I think God of War will win it, and I did vote for God of War for Best Action Adventure Game. Best Action Game. Why isn't God of War nominated? For the best game in the action genre focused on combat. Why isn't God of War nominated? Why isn't Spider-Man nominated? Why is Destiny 2 nominated? Why? Why is Destiny 2 nominated? God of War, I would be happy if Red Dead Redemption 2 was in this category. Why is Destiny in this category? It shouldn't even be. It should not even be nominated for anything. Why is it in? I could go on. You know what? Let's just vote. Let's just vote. Destiny's probably going to win it because just the nomination alone tells you that it's going to get votes. I think it's Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 was actually a really, really good game. It was sandwiched between the release of Monster Hunter. I know Monster Hunter came out like 2 months before, and also it was sandwiched between Monster Hunter and God of War, so it didn't really get the recognition. But Ubisoft Montreal, congratulations, you stepped up your game. You know, you've taken a couple of L's here and there, but you know, you bounced back, and now you're taking dubs. Congratulations. I think you made a pretty good game. Call of Duty, the reason why it doesn't win it for me is that the moments that I had in Far Cry 5, when it comes to some of the stupid things that you can do in Far Cry 5 over Call of Duty. Some of the shenanigans that you can get into in Far Cry 5 completely and utterly outweigh anything that you can do in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 feels a lot more structured in its approach to action than Far Cry 5. And trust and believe me, if Just Cause 4 was in this category, I would be voting for Just Cause 4. But I voted for Far Cry 5. I think Destiny 2 will win it because people, for some weird reason, like to suck off Bungie for just mediocre content. Best VR/AR game. I don't have anything VR. I don't have VR. I'll go with Tetris Effect. I really liked Tetris Effect as a game, but I don't know anything about the VR landscape. It's a huge investment. It doesn't really have a lot of great games in it. A lot of games like Tetris isn't going to compete with Christ Alive Far Cry 5. Like, and it's one of the best games in its category. So I don't really know anything about this genre. Again, it's something that I need to become more informed upon in the future. I don't know who's going to win it. I don't know who's going to win it. My vote's for Tetris, though. It was a really good game. Best mobile game. I'm not a mobile player. I'm going to vote for Florence. I'm going to vote for Florence. I'm not a huge mobile gamer, but PUBG is just an unoptimized mess. Okay? And Fortnite, the reason why I won't really be voting for Fortnite, and I have hundreds of hours into Fortnite, the reason why I won't be voting for Fortnite that much, if at all, is Epic has just not managed the game as well as I think they should. And I think the player base would agree with me on that. At least the main player base will. Not people who don't play the game anymore, but people who constantly play the game. We can kind of all agree. I've deleted it off of my PlayStation 4. I cannot play this game anymore. We can all agree that there are some design problems and some balancing issues with Fortnite that Epic just refuses to address, and that's all I'll say on that because I'm going to get a headache already just talking about it. Best independent game, it's got to go to... I really wanted to give it to The Messenger, but I got to give it to Celeste. And I think Celeste will also win it. Mobile game, I think Florence will also win it. But let's move on. I mean, if you haven't heard about Celeste, crawl out from under the rock that you've been living on for the past 11 months and go on your PC and download Celeste. That's all I have to say on that. Games for Impact. Jesus Christ. Why is this a category? For a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. This is so political. I don't play video games because they're political. Celeste. Let's just go with Celeste. It's gonna be Celeste. I'm not even gonna give... I don't like politicizing certain things. But, I mean, there have been video games where people have expressed themselves, where they have... I remember a couple of years ago, a video game where a developer was kind of expressing himself and talking about how his son had cancer, and it was one of the best, I guess, games for impact ever made. But I mean, this category, it just I don't like it. I don't like talking about politics. I don't really like video games having politics in them that much. It's kind of hard for me as a gamer to really like that category. Best performance. Boy, it's either between Yuri, Roger Clark, or Christopher Judge. This is my best Kratos impression. I know it's pretty bad. It's gotta go. It's gotta go. Oh, God, they did such a good job. All of them did such a good job. Roger Clark did a great job as Arthur Morgan. I mean, with spoiler alert, Arthur gets tuberculosis, and Roger Clark does such a great and phenomenal job at his breathing, because you can hear Arthur have this kind of like scratchy voice that makes you think that his lungs have just been cut up by glass. It sounds like he's breathing in glass, and he just does a fantastic job. Yuri Lowenthal is just such a phenomenal voice actor. Yes, just look at Yuri's credentials. Just look at his credentials. Great voice actor. And then you have Christopher Judge, who just does a phenomenal... No, I haven't heard any hardcore God of War fan complain about his voice. If you listen to the Kratos of old and the new Kratos, no one complains, because he just does such a great and phenomenal job as Kratos. They all show off their talents as voice actors. Oh, I'm gonna go with Christopher Judge. I gotta go with the Greek God of War. I gotta go with my boy Christopher Judge. Gotta go with him. Did such a phenomenal job as Kratos. Oh, is this the game of the year? Oh, best audio design presented by Dolby. Jesus Christ. I think there's been like 2 sponsors. I just said the first. Call of Duty had really, really great game design, or sound design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Call of Duty had great sound design. So did Forza. So did God of War. So did Spider-Man. So did Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm trying to like think of the sounds right now of the games, of these games. I'm gonna exclude Spider-Man. The reason why I'm gonna exclude Spider-Man is because I didn't like the thwip from his web shooters. That's it doesn't have that. Doesn't have that. It's kind of like a. I wish it had a. Like you're whipping it out, like you're thwipping it out. I like that. So unfortunately, Spider-Man also doesn't have a lot of iconic sounds. Like Red Dead Redemption has a lot of iconic sounds. I am super tempted to give it to Black Ops 4, man. God of War had pretty good game sounds as well, and so did Red Dead Redemption 2. I've kind of eliminated God of War and Forza. God, yeah. I mean, are we talking about like? This is so. Oh man, game audio. God, now God of War's back in it. God of War's back in it, because they had some great sound design. Because now I'm also counting Atreus as well. Not his voice actor, but some of the words that he was saying when he was talking to the World Serpent. I mean, shoot, I'm gonna go with God of War, man. I gotta go with God of War, man. They had so many good sounds. It's so close. I have actually. This is the only game category that I have no problem with any of the nominees, and all of them deserve to win. And I like there are some voice actors that set themselves above everyone else. Well, maybe this isn't. I was super conflicted on this category, but definitely like Celeste, Florence, games like that. They set themselves above the pack. I mean, all of these games could have won it. Oh my goodness. I think God of War will win it. or Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, here we go. Best score / music presented by Spotify. I like some of these ads because it kind of makes sense that Spotify would sponsor Best Sound. Ni no Kuni had a great soundtrack. Octopath Traveler had a great soundtrack. God damn it, Red Dead Redemption 2 had a great soundtrack. I'm eliminating Marvel's Spider-Man. I did not like certain aspects of the soundtrack. I didn't like the trumpets always blaring whenever you're web swinging. It's a little bit obnoxious. God of War, Celeste. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm so tempted to go for Ni no Kuni. I mean, all of these games excluding Spider-Man, and I love Spider-Man, but all of these games excluding Spider-Man could have won it. I do think that it will be Celeste. I think Celeste will win it, but gosh darn it, Red Dead Redemption 2 had such a great album. Best art direction, Ni no Kuni needs to be in this, but I'm going to give it to God of War. God of War, I think, will win it, and I also think that it. I voted for it, and I also think that it will win it. Moving on. Best narrative for outstanding. Oh, sweet Jesus! Detroit Become Human had a really, really great story. So did Red Dead Redemption 2. Marvel's Spider-Man. God of War. I'm gonna go with God of War. I gotta go. I'm a huge God of War fan, and I'm a bigger Spider-Man fan than God of War. But the way that they retold I hate this because Red Dead Redemption 2 had such a great narrative as well. But I mean, God of War, the way that they just redid everything and how they're leaving some things up for the future sequel, and how you don't feel cheated at the end of the game. You don't feel cheated by the appearance of a specific character and how it is heavily hinted at that there will be a sequel. You don't feel cheated at all by God of War, by Santa Monica. Santa Monica just did such a phenomenal job with God of War. Best game direction. Awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Here's the thing. Innovation is overrated. Anyone can come up with anything new and it not really be good. I would rather have something old, but really, really well executed upon. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is kind of a really, really good example of this, which is why it's not going to win this category, because it really doesn't do anything innovative. It tells a really, really great story. The combat is easily the weakest aspect of it, but still, there's so much fun to be had with the combat, and it's such a rockstar game. And I mean that in the best way. It's such a rockstar game. It has so many Easter eggs. It has so many fun side quest missions. It has so many really, really good and interesting characters. But it doesn't really do anything innovative. Spider-Man, I don't think does. It does some innovation here and there. I think the combat is easy. Marvel's Spider-Man has the best combat of the year. Easily, it has the best combat of the year. I could get into this game's combat a lot quicker and a lot easier than God of War, and I think the depth early on is so much deeper than God of War. God of War closes that depth, and it creates depths of its own later on in the game, but I really enjoyed Marvel's Spider-Man. I gotta give it, if we were talking about narrative, we're not talking about narrative. No, we just voted on narrative. Game direction. Here's the thing. All of these games do something that I've seen before. I've seen a way out cooperative system before. I've seen Detroit Become Human story before. I don't like this category because, me personally, I've seen all of this. I've seen all of it before. I'm gonna go with God of War because they do some innovative things with the character and with the genre. It used to be kind of a hack and slash. Now it's like a Dark Souls type of game, and you still feel that weight, that strength of Kratos. But so innovation, creative vision. I think God of War takes that heavily. Takes that easily. God damn it, No Man's Sky and Like, they're going for the hat trick, right? Or, oh, I can't even vote for any of these games. Are you kidding me? Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. First off, why isn't League of Legends in this category? Again, there are so many people who play League of Legends. I'm not saying that the continuous game development is good. I'm just saying there's a whole bunch of players that play League of Legends that have been playing League of Legends for like 10 years. I'm just saying, why isn't it nominated? Why is Destiny 2 nominated? Why isn't Diablo 3 nominated? Why isn't, and I can go on and on and on, why isn't GTA Online nominated? I feel so disgusted. I actually want to abstain from this vote because there's so many better ongoing multiplayer games. I'm gonna go with Tom Clancy. I don't like what Ubisoft, the direction that Ubisoft is going with, but I don't like Overwatch's direction. I don't like No Man's Sky. I don't like Fortnite's direction, and I don't like Destiny 2's direction. It's like all of the games that are in this category, I just don't like or I have a problem with their actual game direction, which is something that I'm supposed to be voting for. Outstanding development, not a game direction, excuse me, but development. I have problems with all of these games' directions and development. But it's like, it's picking the king of the losers, essentially. Congratulations, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. You're the king of the losers. Game of the year that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Game of the year. Going into this year, for starters, why is Assassin's Creed? We're not even going to show that. Going into 2018, I'd never heard of Celeste. I knew Monster Hunter was going to be up here. I knew it was going to be up here. I knew God of War was going to be up here. Sorry for the voice crack. I also knew Marvel Spider-Man was definitely going to be up here as well, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's kind of look at some of these games and kind of pick them apart. Marvel Spider-Man isn't the game of the year. The reason why it's not the game of the year is that I feel like the story definitely could have been the main focus of the game. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of filler content, and I think if you've played the Spider-Man games, there's so many like backpacks and labs and gang hideouts and random events that happen in the game that it overly pollutes the game with side content that really isn't that fun or interactive once you've done it for the 10th time. And I've done a lot of the same content for the 10th time, and it really made the game worse, even though doing those actions was really, really fun. It's just, I really, really liked whenever I was interacting with some of the more iconic characters like Tombstone, for example. Like, that was a lot of fun. Dr. Octavius, interacting with him was really, really fun. Just really, really disappointing that Insomniac didn't go with interacting with more of the iconic Spider-Man characters than just random pedestrians on the street. I get that that's a staple for the Spider-Man universe or for the Spider-Man games, but it really brought the game down in my opinion. It's still a phenomenal game. It's still the best Spider-Man game of all time, but it's not the game of the year for 2018. Monster Hunter World. The problem with Monster Hunter World is that the story isn't really there. And I get it, It's a game where you play with your friends. You play it with other people. And you can make that argument for every single game. You can make the argument of this game is better playing with friends. And as much as I love Monster Hunter World, and as much as I love the game being ported, or not ported, but now released on console, my problem with Monster Hunter, and this could be also your problem that you have with Monster Hunter as well, is that the whole point of the game is to kill monsters, loot their carcasses, build better weapons and items and materials to then now go hunt other monsters, and that's kind of the point of the game. And it for me, it got stale, kind of. It was fun for a really, really long time, but the gameplay kind of wears off. It's still a phenomenal game, just like Spider-Man. It's just not the game of the year. Celeste, it deserves to be up here. 24, it's an indie game. It doesn't deserve to be. Its quality of content supersedes its indie category. The game's quality supersedes most AAA games released this year. But it's not as good as Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War. It's just not. Red Dead Redemption 2 did some phenomenal things this year. I always I need to make a video about this, but I don't have a constant, or not a constant, but a concrete top 10 games of all time, because I feel like you can make a case for a lot of games to be in the top 10 games of all time. And I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely one of those games. I think it is a top 10 game of all time. The story is really, really great in a lot of stretches. I think if you played the first game, you get so much more value out of this game, because you get to see John Marston and Abigail and and Jack and Dutch, and even like Bill Williamson. He actually becomes a character, and so does Javier. You know, these are just antagonists that you fight against in the first Red Dead Redemption, but in the second game they have characters and they have flaws, and you start to like feel for the villains that you will inevitably capture or kill. It's a phenomenal game. It's just that doggone combat. It is one of the, and also there's some little tidbit things, like everyone can kind of understand why it's just annoying to constantly have to go into your horse saddle and not only select specific guns that go over your back, like you have to select your rifles and your shotguns and your repeaters. That's annoying, but at the same token, you also have to insert your bullets as well. The special bullets that you've gotten, the special bullets that you spend a lot of money on, you also have to do that. It's just annoying to micromanage, but that's just a ticky-tacky thing to say about Red Dead Redemption. It's just the combat. It's disappointing that Rockstar hasn't improved upon the combat in like 10 years. The game of the year, obviously, is God of War. God of War does so many good things for gaming, for Santa Monica, for Sony, for me as a consumer. I played almost all of the God of Wars originally. I played, I think the first God of War that I played was Chains of Olympus, where you have to go down to hell to rescue the sun. That's a PSP game. It's not a part of the main line of games. It is, but it's not like God of War 2, God of War 3. And as a fan of those original games, a fan of Chains of Olympus, God of War 2, God of War 3, this game just makes the character of Kratos. There's this great moment. This is a spoiler, but there is this great moment where Kratos takes off his bandages that cover the scorch marks left on the Chains of Olympus, or the chains. I forgot the specific name where he got the chains from, or not where he got the chains from. He got the chains from obviously Ares, but I forgot the actual name of the chains that bonded him into servitude for Ares. And it's just this really, really great moment because he lets go of that past of him being the ghost of Sparta, this god killer, and now he's just a dad who wants to pay homage to his wife and give her her final rest. And it's just such a great game. As a God of War fan, I loved it. Sony Santa Monica really, really set itself apart as one of the best developers of this year, and they created one of the best games of this year. I gotta vote for God of War. It would be a crime if I didn't vote for God of War. But that was my full list. I think this is maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. I haven't really been watching the clock. I've just been having fun talking about video games. But leave your top 10. You know what? Talk to me in the comment section below. Which game did you vote for Game of the Year? Assassin's Creed Odyssey does not count. And what category did I also like? I also liked, not game direction, but narrative. Tell me which game in the comment section down below had the best narrative and was the Game of the Year. I would really, really like to appreciate it. Also, if you know a lot about indie games, I'm lacking on indie games. I don't know a lot about indie games, besides Celeste and a couple of other games. But this has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. And I hope that you have a great rest of 2018. 2018 was such a phenomenal year for gaming. There was no big controversies, really, besides like maybe Diablo Immortal and other games like it, like Fallout 76. But I mean, I got what I wanted. You know what? Let me just, for a couple of minutes, let me talk about games that I got that I really, really liked. I got the games that I wanted. I got God of War. I got Marvel. I got Spider-Man. Excuse me. I got Monster Hunter. I got Red Dead Redemption. I got even games that I didn't even know that I would like. I got Celeste, man. I got none of those games in those categories. I got Detroit Become Human. Yeah, I'm just really, really happy as a game with 2018. I mean, as much as I was bashing Octopath Traveler, I liked Octopath Traveler. It's just not as good as Ni no Kuni. I even got Ni no Kuni, man. This year has been a phenomenal year for gaming. I'm super, super excited to see where the gaming industry is going to go in the next couple of years in 2019. But until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.